Hello. We are going over the 324 biblical prophecies that prove Jesus is the Messiah. You are watching this on the Halachgoy channel of YouTube. I'm a Halachgoy, and you can be one too. 324 biblical prophecies that prove Jesus is the Messiah. Prophecy number 22. Christ is our Passover. This prophecy is found in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verses 21 through 27. Then Moses summoned all the elders of Israel and said to them, "Go at once and select the animals for your families and slaughter the Passover lamb. Take a bunch of hyssop, dip it in the blood in the basin, and put some of the blood on the top and on both sides of the doorframe. Not one of you shall go out the door of this house until morning. When the Lord goes through the land to strike down the Egyptians, he will see the blood on the top and sides of the doorframe and will pass over that doorway. And he will not permit the destroyer to enter your homes and strike you down. Obey these instructions as a lasting ordinance for you and your descendants. When you enter the land that the Lord will give you as he promised, observe this ceremony. And when your children ask you, 'What does this ceremony mean to you?' then tell them, 'It is the Passover sacrifice to the Lord, who passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and spared our houses when he struck down the Egyptians.' Then the people bow down and worship." The fulfillment of this prophecy is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. "Get rid of the old yeast, that you may get a new batch without yeast, as you really are. For Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed." What we have in the book of Exodus, in these verses in the book of Exodus, is instructions on how to place the blood on the doorway to a home, to stay within the home so that you are not destroyed, so that you're not affected when the Lord would pass through and cause destruction in Egypt. It's not clear from this how claiming that Jesus is the Passover lamb fulfills any of this. But it's not really what the Apostle Paul is saying anyway. The Apostle Paul makes this statement. He's not tying it in to anything in the book of Exodus. He is simply making a statement that Christ, the Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. And the Hope of Israel Baptist Mission, doing what they often do to the Hebrew Scriptures, to what they call the Old Testament, they're taking an entire chapter, an entire topic within Paul's letter. They're taking a tiny verse, not even a verse, a half a verse, a short statement out of that larger thing that Paul is talking about, taking that tiny thing completely out of context and trying to say something different from what Paul was saying. Paul was just stating as a matter of fact. He was not trying to explain that Jesus was fulfilling anything at this point. The 5th chapter of the book of Corinthians deals with immorality that existed within the Corinthian church. He is explaining the necessity to expel the immoral believer from amongst them. Arguing that the Corinthian church is being made a mockery of, that they're making a mockery of God because they're allowing this person to remain among them. Your boasting is not good. Don't you know that a little yeast works through the whole batch of dough? That's referencing the yeast in this passage speaks of the Passover, but it's not anything that's within the Exodus chapter 12 verses 21 to 27. There are moral lessons to learn about the yeast, but it's not something that's in either of the that's within the Exodus passage is being referenced. The part that is that Jesus is the Passover lamb, we talked about that in the last time. Jesus was not a lamb. He was a human. Sheep are sheep, goats are goats, and humans are human. But the connection between these two verses it just doesn't follow on so many different levels. I'm not even sure what it is that the Hope of Israel Baptist Mission is trying to claim through this. Another possibility would be the expelling the immoral believer, which is the entire context of what Paul is speaking of. Also would not make any sense with the Passover, because at the time of the Passover, everyone was told to be involved. You don't throw people out at that stage. There's other stages when you can say, listen, we got a clean house. At the time of the Passover, everybody was to be within the household, and they did not say, well, you've got a personal issue, go and deal with it on your own, and don't be in the household. Everyone was told to be in the household. So on any level, I don't see a connection between these two passages, and I seriously doubt that Paul was trying to make a connection between them. It's just something that the Hope of Israel Baptist Mission, in creating 324 biblical prophecies, using this to add to the list. The next biblical prophecy we'll be looking at, not a bone of the lamb will be broken. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you next time.